Okay, so you guys go skiing, so you know about slopes. Or if you're driving your car and it's icy, especially that road coming up to this high school in the back here, can be really bad. So I can't drive my little car. I have two cars. I can't drive the little car because I don't have the snow tires on. See if that works. Because I'll get my little car. I don't need any slope at all to get stuck if it's icy.
You don't need any what?
Hmm?
What now?
So you don't need any soap?
I need snow tires. I have snow tires, but I didn't put them on this year, so I can't drive them. Because even out here, even where it's flat, I'll get stuck.
I just realized that.
Okay, you guys. So we're going to review slope. I'm going to give you my tricks to getting the slope correct. Okay? Okay, Matt? I'm sorry the sound here is not great, but well, then I can't record it. So that's the problem. I don't know. But if I don't talk loud, it might be okay. So we're familiar with slope. You guys are all familiar, Curran? Don't do that.
Still loading.
Do you want a hard copy?
I did mine in the last class, so I wouldn't have to load.
No, I like it.
Okay, guys. Where's your iPad, Cole?
No, I don't need this. I got it.
Okay, shh. So, you guys, girls, so we're going to talk about slope today. And slope it's just a number. Okay, so we're going to talk about positive, negative, zero slopes, undefined slopes. Cole, focus. Cole, up here. We're going to find the slope of a line, and we're going to find the slope given points on a line, and we're going to do a little bit more than that. Okay, Manuel, Matt, question? Okay. What is slope? Curran? What is it?
Rise over run.
Okay, that's how you find slope. But slope is a measurement of the steepness.
It is
It's a numerical measurement.
3 seconds. It's 3 seconds.
You know, we live in Minnesota. I don't know why. But it gets really cold. So if I tell you the temperature is negative 15, if I tell you the temperature is negative 15, you know what I'm talking about. You understand that. And it's cold. And you know temperature because you've done it for years and years and years, since you were little. Nobody talked to you about slope for years and years and years, but you've dealt with slope, because we've all gone up and down hills. You've been sliding as young kids. And so somebody put a number to measure it. If this is my coordinate system, this is a slope of 1. And we use M for slope. And M comes from the French word monter, which means to climb. I don't know what it is in Spanish. Okay, it might be. That's a slope of 1. If you get a number bigger, monter. If you get a number bigger than 1, then that's pretty steep. And actually, even a slope of 1 is incredibly steep. If you have a slope of a half, it's not going to be quite as steep. So it's just a number that somebody decided to attach to give you a value for how steep something is.
Have you put the test scores on Skyward?
Yes. Now, if you go in the mountains, there's different grades of steepness. If it's an 8% grade, that means that if you go 100 feet this way, okay, Zach, you're going to go 8 feet up. And if you think about that, that's not very steep, but actually it is when you're in a car. Okay, Cole? Cole, focus. So, in Spanish? Okay, so it's not the same. So it's from the French. Okay, shh, Cole, TJ. Now, when I was out west, my husband decided we would follow the GPS on this little road. And I looked at the road, and we're driving 150 miles on this little road. And I said, you know, it's not a good sign when you see grass growing between the cracks in the road. Nobody travels on this road. So we get to the end of the road, and this is all because of the GPS. And it says, oh, we're going to go up this little windy road. Well, it was like an 18% grade. We were traveling in a 32-foot motorhome. We turned around. We knew we couldn't make the corners with that kind of grade. It was incredibly steep. So we drove 150 miles back to the main road, and then it was going up. Yeah. And when you on the mountains, in the mountains, when they go down, I don't know. I didn't see it 'cause we didn't even try.
How was that? How high is 18%?
That means for 100 feet you go over, you go up 18. So it's significantly higher than that. It's pretty steep. And what do they do in the mountains because of the steep mountains? When the trucks come down there, they have actually paths for the trucks to go into, for the runaway trucks, because you'll burn out your brakes. It's not all that steep.
Then they like go up. I've seen those. Those are sweet.
Okay, so if I have a slope of 1, that means I go over 1 foot, up 1 foot. That's a lot steeper than 18%. That would be 50%. 50%, sorry.
Like in Colorado, those
That would be 100%.
things that
Yeah.
Where were you?
Wyoming.
Oh.
Remote, oh no, I'm pretty sure it was Wyoming. Yeah, remote part of Wyoming.
Correct.
And Colorado. We were right at that corner. I don't think it does that. It's that when you come down the hill, the mountain like this, it goes up like this.
No, I've seen it before.
So your gravity will get you there. Okay, so slope is nothing more than a measurement of how steep something is. Okay, so if you are doing building, okay guys, if you build anything, you put a roof on something, you've got the trusses on the roof. Okay, so I was on a mission trip one time. For some reason, they put me in the kitchen. I don't know why. Now I'm a pretty good cook, but at the time I didn't cook. And so I'm in the kitchen, and they're out trying to figure out how to fix the roof to get the right measurements for the trusses. And I go, why didn't you just come talk to me? It took them all day. It would have taken me about 5 minutes. So I'm silly. Use somebody's talents for what they can do. Anyway, so we use this stuff all the time. Now, the problem with slope that you're not going to like is it's usually written as a fraction. And I know how you love your fractions. But that's okay. Fractions, you have to deal with fractions all the time. If you go to the store, it's rare that something's exactly $4. It may be $3.50. 50 cents is a fraction. It's half of a dollar. So we do fractions all the time. So don't get upset about it. Now, somebody a long time ago, and I don't know who it was, that came up with the slope formula, and somebody said rise over run. That's right. It's the vertical change over the horizontal change, and in science class we call it change in y over change in x. Now, somebody chose to make it the change in y over the change in x. Slope could have been the change in x over the change in y. It was just somebody randomly did that. We've all agreed to do slope this way. Where are the mistakes that you make? You switch the x's and the y's. You do it upside down. I grade for the AP exam, and I've seen it many, many times, and students who are 4 classes ahead of you still not doing slope right. So let's get it down. And those of you who are going to go into engineering, medicine, even biology, I already said doctors, you have to take calculus. So many of you will be having to take calculus at some point in your life. No. If you're going to go into psychology or business, you have to have calculus, but you may prefer to take stats. So we have a couple options for you. Need 3 years of math.
Only 3 lives and more.
Because that's what the state decided. It may change.
How much is it for science?
I think it might be 4. English is 4 and social studies is 4. No, it's 4.
No, it's 4, but 4 you have like elective options.
Okay. So do you see how to calculate the slope here?
3 seconds.
Now, I prefer to go over and then up, but I found that my students prefer to go up and then go over. So we're going to measure this. How many squares, spaces? 1, 2, 3. That's up 3. Now, when you do this, order matters. So if you start here, you have to follow the path. You can't just jump up here and then measure that way because the direction matters. Since we're going up, it's positive. If we go down, it's going to be negative. If I go to the right, it's going to be positive. If I go to the left, it's going to be negative. So if I follow this path, I go up, and to get back over to the road here, I've got to go 2 to the right. So the slope here is 2 over 3.
No, it's the other way around.
You're right. I'm just thinking. Did I do that upside down after all that? Yes. See? It's easy to do it upside down. It's the rise over the run. Some people will subtract the x and y coordinates even. Okay, let's try some problems. Oh, not yet. We'll do this. Now, how do we decide if it's positive or negative slope? You're in your little car, and you go left to right. If you go up the hill, it's positive. Okay, Cole? If you go down the hill, it's negative. Now, my car doesn't move out there when it's flat. So we say the slope is 0. And remember, these vertical lines, their slopes are undefined because you're going to be dividing by 0. Another way to describe it is to say no slope. I don't like that expression because I feel like it should go to the horizontal line, but it doesn't. It goes to the vertical lines. So I hesitate to use that. You can say it has no slope. That has a slope of 0. This doesn't have a number to go with it. It's actually infinity. Okay, so we always go left to right to decide the signs. So find your slopes there. Now I can move my numbers around. See, I can do this. Okay, so you got a packet there. See if you can count the slopes. Kylie, see if you can count the slopes. So we got one here that's done. The easiest one is the slope of 0. That goes where?
Horizontal line.
The horizontal line. There you go. Like that. What's this slope?
Positive. About 2/3.
It's 2/3. Is everybody okay with that? Is there another one that's 2/3? Well, we'll get there. Okay, stay with me with the notes. It may be easy, but there are going to be some harder things. Okay? TJ, what's this slope? How many up? 2. How many over?
3.
So guess what? That's 2/3 as well. What's this vertical one? Undefined.
-1/4.
There's no slope here because basically what's happening, Cole, is it's dividing by 0. There's no over. We don't know what to do when we divide by 0. We get an error. If you put on your calculator, you'll get an error. What's this one? Is this positive or negative? I just look at the picture. It's negative. If I can look at the picture, then I don't have to worry about doing the right direction here. This is 1. Now, that's going down 1, and this is going to the right 4. It's -1/4. If I start here at this point, I would be going -4, but then I'd be going up 1. No, 1 over -4. The vertical goes in the numerator, the horizontal goes in the denominator. And one way one way I've done this is think of this as a table, and X are the table legs. Does that help? If you try to put the Y in the denominator, you don't get a nice little table standing on the legs. I'll try anything to help you remember which one it is. Okay, there's slope formula. Remember that? Now, do I have to do y2 minus y1, or can I do y1 minus y2? I can do y1 minus y2. I usually write it that way. But once I choose to do that, if I reverse these, what do I have to do with these guys? Reverse them. x1 minus x2. Order doesn't matter. My preference is to keep the numerator positive. That's just my preference. You can do whatever you want with these. Okay, ready to try a problem? Now, when we do this, especially if you're getting your x's and y's mixed up, which people do, I write down x, y here, and that's alphabetical. That's how I remember it. It's negative 2, 1, and 3, 7. That's my first trick, because you want to get the y's straight. So if you have problems like I do, where I mix things up, as you've already seen today, I do that, and then it keeps it all straight for me. The y's are here, the x's are on the left side. And then I write the formula down. The slope is equal to y1 minus y2. I choose that way, then what goes here? X what? 1 minus x2. And then this is what will help you with your signs, because everybody gets that minus sign mixed up with those negative signs. And I don't want you to do that. If you want to time me, I'm going to write out my parentheses, because honestly, every time you substitute, you should always have parentheses. There are times when you don't have to have them, but you guys don't always remember when that is. Okay. Now, I've got 4 numbers to pick from. There's only 2 that I can put in here, but I don't care which one it is. TJ, which one do you want to put in there? These are the Y's. If you want to write it over here, he wants to put 7 in there. I agree with him. You could put 1 in there. Now, what's the other Y value? I have no. Once I choose the first one, everything's decided. What has to go here then? 1. Does this help you? Now, the other thing is 7 that's an ordered pair. 7 is paired up with 3. So in the denominator, I have to see that ordered pair. There it is, 3, 7. And then there's only one number left. So it's what? Negative 2. Now, this is why I do this, because I don't want you to mess up the signs. So 7 minus 1, that's pretty easy. That's 6. And then this is 3 minus a minus 2. So we make it plus plus, so it's 6 over 5. If you do it, you want me to do it the other way? You get the same answer, but you will get a negative 6 over a negative 5, which still is positive 6/5. Now, a lot of you are not going to want to do the parentheses. I highly recommend it. If you mess up on your signs, I'm going to tell you that's going to help you with the signs. Okay, this is the type of problem I think TJ asked me a little bit ago. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do x, y. I'm going to put my ordered pairs here. And I'm going to write the formula down. So m equals y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And then let's put our parentheses in. The slope I'm going to leave. There's my parentheses. Well, if nothing else, they're nice placeholders so you don't miss something. Okay, what goes here for the slope? Oh, I forgot to write this down. M equals 1/2. This is an equation now. Correct? This is an equation. What goes here? That's 1/2. There's 2 issues. First, can we get it set up, and then can we solve? Now, these are the y's, and the bottom are the x's. So, which one do you want to put in first? That's not y. Negative 2. I can, but then I'm going to end up with a lot of negatives.
Why?
Because it's going to be negative 2 minus y, and then it's going to be ugly looking. So why don't we put the y in first? So if I put y in here, this is negative 2.
And then make it an addition.
Now, y is paired up with 4, so what goes here? 4. And I have all my work, check me, because sometimes I do things upside down. But anyway, check my work, make sure I did it right, and this is going to be negative 4. If you do it the other way, you're going to have a lot of negative signs, and I don't know how good we are with those. So 1/2 equals y plus 2, and what's 4 minus 4?
0.
4 minus a negative 4
8, sorry.
gives you 8. If I got 0, then I know I have a vertical line. Yes. Now, the question is, do you know how to solve that? You could do that. Why don't we just cross multiply? 1 times 8, just write it down, equals 2 times y plus 2. Well, but what if this were 3/5? What if the numbers aren't nice? I want a process that works every time. You're right. You could do it that way, Cole. But we know how to do this? 8 equals 2y plus 4. And then we'll subtract 4. I don't know. This is 4 equals 2y. Oh, yeah, you're right. Y equals 2. But if the number, now these are nice numbers. I don't know, we usually give you nice numbers. But you do need to get this process of cross multiplying. Let me just listen carefully. Here's the original equation. This is the new equation. Are they the same equations, Cole? No, listen. Are these the same equations?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly what I was driving.
Okay, guys? This equation is what it is. This equation is a different one, but the numbers that make this true are candidates. Curran, you're going to miss out on this. The numbers that make this one true are candidates to make that one true. This one I know how to solve. That one, maybe not. Because there are going to be some things that you're going to do that when you transform it, you're going to get extra answers. You'll hear about that in higher algebra. We won't be finding them here. Okay, so let's try this one. I'm going to get it set up. You guys try it. I put the x, y there so I keep track of my x and y coordinates because you already know I mixed mine up. Yes, thank you. And the slope is 3/4. Okay, Cole, do you remember how to do this?
Yeah.
So the slope, here's the formula. I'm going to walk around. This is our last example. That's all there is. So I'm going to put in something for the slope, and I'm going to put my parentheses here. Cole, do you want to come up and do this?
That's uncomfortable.
Jack, you want to come up and do it?
Yeah.
And that's, I believe that's the last one.
No, Cole, it's not.
Cole can help you maybe.
You go get All right.
So write them down, try it. You need to be doing your notes. Sydney made it.
I did it already.
Yes. You made it a little harder. Yeah, because you did the other way around. You did the -4 minus 5. It's the same. Because you can put either one there. Y and 8 go together. Yeah, that's right. And
No, y and -4.
no, look at the ordered pairs.
No, wait. No, the top.
Order pairs are up here.
Yeah, they're right here too. Y is paired up with 8. I must see this ordered pair right here, and I do.
No, I'm not. Y is next to -4. That's what I meant. I didn't mean.
Oh. No, he's doing it right. And what goes here? Okay, so simplify the right side. So 3/4 equals, guys, we got to start to learn to be a little better in our process because next year is going to be harder.
6,
No.
Y plus 4.
Can we write it so we can read it? 3/4 equals y, it doesn't matter, plus 4 over 16. Now, cross multiply.
16 times 3.
Yep. Do you know what that is? 48. Oh, sorry. That was a little too fast.
What's 3 times 48?
Equals,
Right on the side.
distribute.
4Y plus 6.
Yes, and the mistakes I've seen,
Sorry.
the mistakes I've seen are people not distributing. Okay, now what do you do? Now we should all know how to do this.
Wait, Miss Connie, why did you? Oh, you have to do the
We're cross multiplying because that had been 5, you'd be in trouble.
You have to do the 4 from here.
4 times y plus 4 and 3 times 16. You can do it your way. It works. I think that's right.
Y equals 8.
Oh, no, it's 8. Let's see where your work is. Probably sign error. That's 48. Oh, you didn't distribute. 4 times 4 is 16. That's okay. That's why we're here. Okay,
What's
I'm done.
16 minus,
But 32. It says 32 equals 4y. Divide by 4. Just so you can read it. Y equals 8. Okay? So you should get this assignment done.